Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Basic Guide to Smash Heroes. Today we will be taking a look at Cake Monster. Cake Monster is easily one of the most powerful heroes in the game if you use him correctly. And it's not actually that hard to use him correctly. I'm Prestige 1 and I can pull off some pretty deadly combos sometimes. But, I mean, if you use him wrong, if you don't know a thing about him, then he's really quite useless. When I first started playing Smash Heroes, I was a cake non. My cake was pretty useless. It took me like a week to get 10k coins for Tin Man, because I was just so bad at it. Let's take a look at his abilities. Left click to deal 5 damage. Right click to perform a dash that does 6 damage on hit and carries you a short distance. Press 2 to spit out 2 cakes that deal 2 damage each for up to 12 damage. When your energy is above 50, instead of double jumping, use a Defecake. When this Defecake lands near or on someone, it deals 5 damage. All of Cake Monster's abilities reset the cooldown of his dash, meaning if you combo it with just Regurgicate alone, his secondary ability, you can have some nasty combos. If you use your Defecake, you can deal even more damage. Pressing 3 activates your Smash ability, which is basically a very long Defecake. This can be comboed with dash and with your regular Regurgicate combo. This ability is so strong that you can shred someone's entire stock in seconds. Now, while I am Prestige 1 and know a few things about Cake Monster, my friend Dreaka recently got the Master Skin for Cake Monster, and also mains a very similar character. So I once again have bullied him into sending me some footage of him playing Cake Monster and explaining some tips and tricks for it. Make sure to go subscribe to Dreaka's channel. He's doing gameplay videos on every single hero in the game, and he recently did a Cake Monster video, and I would check that out too.
Alright, so as Cake, what you're going to be doing is there's a complex, there are multiple levels of combos. So there's the simple combo, which is just your 2 and right click combined, as Cyber showed you. But there's also, if you add a double jump at the end of it, and this only works whenever they're higher health, because then they won't take as much knockback from your right click. So you will do your regular combo, and then you're going to double jump at the end, and that'll just add another Defecake. And if you're able to hit that extra Defecake, then you're going to get the extra right click, which has also a chance to hit. So times when it's good and not good to Defecake. So that just kind of depends. Sometimes, like, if they're characters that have decent knockback and you aren't able to approach them as much, sometimes it's better to use your double jump as a quick way to approach them, at least if they're a little bit higher up than you. And then sometimes it's good just to make sure you have some extra energy so you can perform that extra combo. And like there, I didn't have Regurgicate, so I relied on my Defecake combo. Alright, so next thing I want to cover is your playstyles. Now, there are a few different playstyles. There is Defensive Cake, which really only works against melee classes, although some melee classes won't fall for it, so you may be forced to play like a little bit of offensive. But defensive is always good, just because it's hard for them to hit you, or at least win the trade against you. And then there's also Offensive Cake, which is pretty much staying on top of them at all times, getting as many combos as you can. This is decent against ranged, but you have to be careful against ranged, because ranged have the ability to completely punish you for it, since Cake doesn't have much mobility. Now, when to use Regurgicate. That that is a very complex thing to learn. In short, what I would say is whenever they're playing a bit defensive, then it's okay to use your regurgitate simply for some range damage, like that. And then sometimes it's okay to, like, your main objective as a cake is to be able to perform your regurgitate combo. Sometimes you can't perform your regurgitate combo, so you have to use regurgitate from ranged. And it's also good to use regurgitate from ranged if you're like low on health, or they deal way too much damage, or they're chasing you with a Carrold. One of those. So something you want to try to avoid doing is approaching too much, because while you are Cake who benefits from getting close to them, if you try way too hard to approach them, you're just gonna take way too much health than it's worth by bulk gnawing. So a few things, just to sum it up: don't stay in the air too much, but also if you have to go in the air, it can be a good idea. Like if you need to approach something, or if something's higher up than you, then you're okay. Now there's something that, as this is the first main class that has this, your dash ability. Now dash is something that I can't, like, this is one of the most important parts of any melee character, and I main Pug, so even though Pug has Pounce and Vork, I still consider your right click to be your best ability. Now this is because all you have to do is right click up and look at how much higher I am. I could do that and I'm already like twice the amount of that middle thing. However, if I use both of my double jumps, which now I have 0 energy, I get to about that same area, but that's also using both my double jumps. And if I'm any character like Sergeant, then I don't have any more recovery, and I'm just gonna get one tapped off the edge. Spooter is dead. So in short, you really need to start right-clicking up for height. Now this will be a harder match since there are 2 ranges, which ranges are the hardest counter to Cake you can ever think of. So you really have to be kind of guessing about when you should jump and when you should save your abilities, just in general. So something that you can do with all melee classes, I'm good, is right click sideways. Now this makes it so that you aren't as predictable. So like, for instance, you just do a regular single jump, like you're this. So you're going to regular single jump and then kind of go to the side, just like that. Now this is good for being unpredictable, especially for ranged. So last but not least, I want to cover your Cake ult. So the Cake ult is just a very, very long regurgitate. So what you want to do is you want to go as aggressive as you can without being like completely fooling into their abilities. So you want to be smart with it, but you still want to go really aggressive, because your Cake ult has the ability to shred 100 health in 2 seconds. And that's not even a joke. 100 health in 2 seconds. Now, of course, this does take luck, but it's still possible.
So the 4 tips I can give for Cake Monster are to combo your dash with your regurgitate. This is very important, and use your def cake at the end of this combo if you have it, because, you know, you'll deal 40 damage. I already demonstrated that. Use your right click for mobility instead of using your double jumps. Dreaka demonstrated that. Don't be too aggressive or you'll end up taking too much damage, especially against ranged characters. You can make an exception to this during your smash, where you should be very aggressive, but still try to be unpredictable. Or otherwise you'll get caught in a gravity arrow, like what happened to Dreaka. So that's going to be it for this guide. Hopefully you learned a few things about Cake Monster. Hopefully this was helpful in some way. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.